Villains that have a point series. Gorr the God Butcher. He lived on a planet that does not have a name. He was a man of faith. Little by little, another loved one dies. Starvation or from murder. He lost that faith, but his prayers weren't being heard. His mom was butchered by beasts, and his wife died from an earthquake, and his children died from starvation. But it wasn't until his last son that died from starvation that he had enough. See, his people were outcasted by his own society. He had nothing. Then, it wasn't until one day he heard a crash, commotion, fighting, and he witnessed two gods fighting. One with golden armor and one with black. The golden armor dies in the hands of Knull, the father, the god of the symbiotes. But he dies as well, and Gorr takes the Knull Sword and commits to finding every god and killing them for not listening to his prayers.
Help? You? Help you? Where were you? Where were you when my children were starving? When my wife was screaming for your help? When my mother was being butchered like an animal? Where were you when we needed our gods?
It's hard to say that he has a point, because I really don't condone killing, but I will argue that your sanity and your faith would also be lost if you were watching your loved ones die from starvation, from death. And how far along would your faith and sanity start to break and crumble? Do you think he was right in killing gods over time? Because they never really listened to his prayers, right? Not helping them in his time of suffering, in their time of suffering. His name is Gorr the God Butcher, and you can read all about him in Thor, God of Thunder. I love this comic so much. Gorr attacks three types of Thors: his past, present, and his future. At one point of the comics, he even dies, but Loki resurrects him. And then, Gorr turns around and attacks both Thor and Loki, eventually crucifying them. But before he attacks, he says,
Two omnipotent brothers squabbling with each other while all of existence withers around them. This is why I've always despised your kind. This is why all gods must die.
but would you blame him? Would you blame the gods that have done nothing for you? Hit that follow button because I'm going to do more of these. I do have a lot on TikTok, but I want to actually put all my content on YouTube and just give out snippets on TikTok. I also do go live on Fridays at night, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. with my buddy Joey, and we do a podcast together and we talk about superheroes' mental health and all the things that we're watching, movies, comics, and games that we're also playing. Until next time, see you, Geek Gods.